and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday. You know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that KG outlaw, Waylon Jennings. It is the weekly purchases with a dash of question of the week with the mail girl. My wife Angie will be waltzing in here shortly, but a lot of stuff to cover this week. And of course, before we get to the weekly purchases, before we get to the question of the week, we got a little housekeeping to do and got to thank Jay'sToysAndGames.com for sponsoring weekly purchases here. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal. You guys know how that goes by now. And Jay's getting a brand new warehouse opening this week. They're transitioning over. A lot of big things to come from them in 2026 and beyond. Can't wait to go tour this new warehouse. So stay tuned for that. Maybe more on the channel here in the future once they get settled in. So shout out to Jay's for sponsoring the weekly purchases. And of course, Patreon. We can't forget Patreon. You guys know that. We got Street Fighter 2 Rock M. Bison from Mattel. That is one giveaway on Patreon. The other one is Brody Lee, the Jazzwares Vault exclusive. 2 chances to win on Patreon. Who knows? Maybe even 3 chances if you're paying close attention. You guys know how that goes. But got those available over at Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support the channel. All kinds of stuff up there. You do get early access to all the videos from both my YouTube channels, early access to the podcast, glamour shots, bonus videos, you name it. Best of all, you do support the channel. Appreciate all the Patreon supporters out there and YouTube channel member supporters as well. And this week, I've been on the road. No rest for the wicked, Ozzy Osbourne style. I was in Dubuque. I was in Wisconsin. I was in Dubuque, Iowa. Let me tell you, beautiful this time of year. Wisconsin, almost as beautiful. Yes, I said it, Todd McFarlane, almost as beautiful. But I was up there, I was in Minneapolis, and then I was down in Kansas City for a couple of days. You can hear all the gory details on the podcast this week, or probably, I 100% will say, available right now on Patreon YouTube channel memberships. But Tuesday, for everybody else, you can find out all about those Road Warrior stories. And they continued up in Minnesota. I went up and down in Minnesota in one day. Got up early on Saturday morning, drove up there, drove back Saturday night into Sunday morning, because the kids and I were on a mission to see Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy the Mail Girl as well. We went to the screening of My Bloody Valentine, and you can hear all the sordid tales of that in the podcast once again. But I hadn't been that fired up in quite some time. And honestly, Todd, you're right. I was just a little bit more fired up about 20 minutes ago as I was finishing my workday. Had the competition call me, and the competition calling me, how'd they get my number? They need to delete that number. But I got pretty worked up, and we got into quite the argument on the phone. It was a great time. I said, let's go meet up in person. That's what I said. But I was pretty wild. I was pretty fired up after that one there. But I win. I always win. I always win in business. You can't stop Bread Jesus. You can't stop him. Maybe somebody could. I'm sure. But a lot going on. Went to Joe Bob. Went to Kansas City for work. Tried a bunch of different food this week. Whenever I travel, you're probably much like you guys. If you travel, you want to try something different. I don't want to try stuff that I can get around here. My kids, though, totally different. They said, hey, let's travel and let's go to Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A. Let's not try anything local. Let's try those. So, I don't know. Works out well for them, apparently, there. But that's it for the housekeeping this week. Travel was the name of the game, but didn't miss a video. You got 4 videos every single day this week, even though I wasn't even home. He wasn't even around the last, week and a half. That's the way the old cookie crumbles. No rest for the wicked, as I said. And I got a nice opportunity around the corner that I'm going to talk about more on the channel in the future when I can. So leaving that little Easter egg out there for everybody. But that's it for the housekeeping. Now it's time for the question of the week. All right, it's time for question of the week. And that means only one thing. Angie dancing into our hearts here today. Angie, how are you?
Good. The old mailbags here.
The old mailbags here. And you're very ready for the season. Valentine's Day just yesterday. She's, dare I say, pretty in pink. That's what she is. Pretty in pink here. I'm rocking the Western wear from my Joe Bob outing. That's what I'm walking here today.
I'm actually manifesting spring.
You're manifesting. You know, I was down in Kansas City. I don't know if you guys have heard this. And stop me if you've heard this before. But one of those days this week, it was 80 degrees. And there I am in like my work sweatshirt type thing and my dress pants and stuff. I was like, man, I should be in shorts and So
I think that groundhog was off his game.
Yeah,
How dumb is that, by the way?
Well, I think you killed that groundhog.
How dumb is that groundhog?
I think.
I can't believe we still do that.
I don't know. It's just fun. It's something fun. It's not people. I don't think people take it for serious. But Angie, you're the one that kills the groundhogs. We did that whole video on the channel. You killed a groundhog, and we actually did a video, the whole story where the dogs were fighting the groundhog, and then Angie said, "I'm taking him out with the car," and he was hiding behind our car. It's a whole thing. There's a video. Search like groundhog Kyle Peterson. You can see about Angie.
You wouldn't believe the sound of a skull popping.
Oh,
that's what it was.
We're gonna retell that whole story.
That?
We should have retold that whole story on the podcast for Groundhog's Day. It could have been a Groundhog's Day special. Maybe we'll save that for next year. I got the shovel. We buried him. We actually
it was a baby too.
No, he was big. He was big.
I thought it was little.
He was as big as our dogs. He was massive. So you got to check out that video on the channel. But we'll talk about that on the podcast one of these days. If not soon, next year for Groundhog Day. What are you doing here? You got something going on? Just spit coming out or what?
I'm like you. I'm gleeking everywhere.
I think you're looking at me and you're drooling. And just bide your time. We'll get done with this video and you can have at it. You can have at it. She's feeling that Valentine's love. She's feeling that Valentine's love is what she's feeling. Whoa. Whoa. Where are these hands? What's going on here? What are we doing? Oh my gosh.
Magical hands.
But Angie, we're filming this before Valentine's Day, but it is what it is. But you got any Valentine's plans? No plans yet. We got to figure that out.
Not like fighting the mean streets.
Yeah, we're not going to fight the mean streets of the restaurants. No use spending a bunch of wasted hours just waiting to get in and all that stuff.
We're going to eat a fancy meal tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, we got free wings for a year. That's a Patreon exclusive as of now. But I got to start putting some of those episodes on Kyle Peterson 2.0. So we'll get that up there too as we work our way through the entire menu at Buffalo Wild Wings, and better yet, for free. It always tastes better when it's free. But we got all those coupons we got to use up, Angie.
I was freaked out that something was on my back and it's just my hair.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally that long. It's down in my back.
You're like a young cousinette is what you are.
I thought something was on
the hair. Well, if you had pants on, it wouldn't feel so weird. But you're always pantsless around the house. It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing. But Angie, we're here for the question of the week. And I guess we'll figure out Valentine's Day in a couple, I don't know. Is it Saturday?
24 hours.
Whatever it is. We're filming this early. We got things to do. Some of us have day jobs. Yeah, Angie, you know what that's like.
We're just romantic every day.
Just every day. It's every day is Valentine's Day here. I give Angie a nice special Valentine's Day card every morning, put flowers on her bed, take her out to fancy dinners every day.
He used to leave cute little notes in my coffee mugs.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's doesn't anymore.
I think you guys made fun of my drawings because I like to give you a little drawing, and I think I was heartbroken that you guys made fun of my artwork. And I said, all right, I'm done with you kids. You guys are all ganging up on me. You bunch of women. Of women. I need a man around here. And that's where Todd McFarlane swooped in and has been on the couch ever since. It's nice to have some guy energy, especially on the couch. Just late at night, two guys guying out on the couch. Just, doing like the foot push back and forth. It's a fun game we like to play. We have a lot of fun. But Angie, we have a lot of fun in the question of the week. We got 2 questions this week. Angie, no questions for you, but this week on the podcast, questions were for you. So the script has been flipped. So these are for me, but feel free to chime in, Angie. Read the question of the week.
TB Toycast. Here is one controversial question. Did we look at Toys R Us through rose-colored glasses? For me, the last few years before it shut down, it wasn't the best. Now we are seeing some return, but they don't feel nearly as good as they did in the 90s. Yes, that Toys R Us was ghetto.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
It was rough.
I'm getting a spam call. Should we take this spam call right now? I would, but it won't come up on the microphone. But I would have taken it. We could have played with the spam. It would have been like a young Jim Florentine is what it would have been. But Angie is 100% right. Rose-colored glasses for sure. I remember we said that a ton for the last... Everybody thinks, oh, Toys R Us is a great place. Well, 9 times out of 10, it was the same stuff over and over. They didn't clearance stuff out forever. It was more expensive than Target and Walmart, so that wasn't fun for the Walmart. But it was more about the experience. But Angie, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to clue you in with the business hat here. Experience doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately, for these companies. So people go in there, they walk around, they peruse, and then they don't buy anything. It's almost like Best Buy in this day and age where people go, they look at these TVs. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to go on Amazon. I'm going to go wherever and buy it. It's kind of like Toys R Us was that way. Now, they did have exclusives. They did open up for collector's packs, box sets, big packs, and things like that. Definitely missed that. I miss Toys R Us. It was fun. Some of the greatest times ever. But we romanticize. Are you trying to hold back the cough?
Yeah.
She needs some more of that throat elixir.
Keep looking for my button.
You need that throat elixir. It'll smooth that throat for you. We got to get that. We'll get you some more later. I'll make it myself. But the Toys R Us was such a romantic experience, but when you're a little kid, you can always find something. But when you're an adult collector and, Toys R Us closed down, I don't know how many,
10?
14 years ago, 13 years ago, at least. Elle was very small, so she got the experience a little bit, but it wasn't as good as we think it is. And a lot of people say, oh, Toys R Us. It was not that great. I remember finding Jakks Classic Superstars the Samoan tag team, like in 2011 there, after Mattel had the license for a year. So it was fun though. And if you knew your patterns, it was a great one. My dad and I, during the height of the starting lineup days, we knew every Friday night they got a truck about 4:00. It was unloaded by 5. We knew we had to be there by 5:30 to get the starting lineup. So that was a Friday tradition as a kid with my dad and I.
Was there a line?
No, not at that time. But on Saturday mornings, there'd be lines and stuff. It was just a wild time back then. And I've told those stories. I'd be sprinting through because my dad's not going to run. But here's a little kid. And all these guys my dad's age, they didn't want to run through Toys R Us to the starting lineups. But I would be a dead sprint. They'd be having those doors, they'd be unlocking it, and I'd be just like this. I'd be like young Carl Lewis, just getting ready to go, and I'd start sprinting off.
Little did they know how smart you were. You knew exactly what you were grabbing.
I knew exactly where I was going and what I was doing. I exactly knew what I was doing. I knew the mission. And my dad,
what's this kid gonna do?
And my dad loved it. He'd just swing in the back and slowly walk through as I'm getting there. But then all these old guys, I remember them just like walking, trying to walk fast, getting that hip shake, trying to walk, and they're trying to like run a little bit, and I'm just dead sprint. I don't know if you were aware of this, Angie. If you go back to my elementary school, which has since closed down, we used to do the 40-yard dash, school record 40-yard dash back in the day. So I was a guy on the mean streets there. It was nothing running to those starting lineups. So it was a great time once upon a time there. So there were some great times at Toys R Us, but 9 times out of 10, you didn't find anything new. It was the same old, just like your Walmart and Target you go to right now. Yes, they get stuff new every once in a while, but a lot of times, heartache, disappointment, but that was part of the fun too. So spot on with the question there. Rose-colored glasses. It wasn't as great as everybody makes it to sound, but we would all take it back in a heartbeat if we could. I guarantee that. So Angie.
Dirty, dusty. Bathroom smelled terrible.
Well, you got to stop going in them and just destroying the things. There's something flying through the air. I just saw, I think it was a ghost.
That was probably a fly from their bathroom.
Fly from the toes. It just flew by when you said that. That was the ghost of Jeffrey. That's what that was. And he was very mad you were besmirching his bathrooms, and you were the one besmirching them, I think.
You know me. I got to pee every 2 seconds.
Yeah, she does. It's on the floor. It doesn't matter. All right, Angie.
Be my fan.
You love a golden shower, that's for sure.
What's happening here? There's like 2 things.
Just read the top one there.
Okay. Spawn 3x5. Today something goes on sale, not really selling, and the next it's selling out and the price goes up. Thoughts on this?
It's a weird question. So something goes on sale, not really selling, and next it's selling out. Well, that's the hope in business. That you're putting it on sale to sell out, and then it goes up in price. Well, that makes sense as well because, hey, guess what? It's no longer around. And that's one of the things that are a tale as old as time. In 20 years, Angie will be here on this channel, and we'll be talking about that beautiful Black Series Lando Calrissian that's been available for 10 years. Every Walmart you go to in the nation, he's got dust this thick. But eventually, he's going to be off the shelves, and then he's going to start skyrocketing. And that's where the real ones, the true ones out there, have that Lando in their collection, and they're like buying yachts and stuff off that Lando profits. That's what's going to happen. Maybe, maybe not. But that's the way it goes. Once you can't get everything, it does sell out, and guess what? The price is going to go up. That's just the way. It's the nature of the beast. So I don't have any problem with it. You had your chance to get it forever. You snooze, you lose is one of those things. But that's what happens. The price goes up, and you see that on a lot of jobber wrestlers, stuff that didn't sell well at the time. Those are the ones that carry the most value because the Hulk Hogan figure, think LJNs, they made 1 million of Hulk Hogan's because everybody wanted Hulk Hogan's. It's that Ted R. City or something they didn't make a lot of. Not that he's worth that much either, but they didn't make as many and they didn't buy as many, so he's a little harder to get than Hulk Hogan. It's just the way the cookie crumbles right there. And it does say, also to keep in mind, item being bought up after the sale is over. So I don't know what that exactly means on that part there.
I was just thinking it's almost like reverse. It's like when it's on sale, you can never find it. Like the pegs are all empty, and then the next day the sale goes off, and oh, magically we have all this inventory.
So that could be, if that's the case, you missed out on it. It was on the shelf. Somebody bought it because it was on sale. Hey, I'm buying this. It's on sale. I'm going to nestle it away like the WWE Legend figures. Hey, it went on sale. I bought them all up. Now they're out of stock. Price goes up. It's the same kind of thing. It went on sale. You snooze, you lose. No matter what price it is, it goes up on you. So I can see that too. But also keep in mind the item being bought up after the sale is over. So I don't know why people wouldn't buy it on sale. I'd buy it on sale over when the sale's over. But I don't know. But It's one of those things. It's just supply and demand, really, is the end of the day. And that's the answer to everything. You snooze, you lose. You buy it when it's on sale. Great for you. You got a deal. You bought it when it's full price. Well, at least you got the figure you wanted.
They just need an Angie to just buy it. We buy it whenever. And then if it goes on sale, then I have to return it and buy it again.
That's what we do. And we play that a lot. And sometimes it really screws us because I'm not sure which one it is. And then the Target person messes up. We got the sale for the $10 gift card. They messed up, took the wrong one back. And then we didn't get the sale. It's just a whole fiasco. Drives me absolutely crazy. And that stuff like that.
Truly the only stress in my life.
Yeah, it must be nice. That's your stress. Can you correctly return the right Piper's Pit 3-pack, the one we paid full price or the one we saved $5 on? I wish I had your problems. I'm glad I don't have your cough and stuff, though. That's true. So you got that problem over
A little
me.
trick at Target, if you've bought something multiple times within the return window, they can scan that item like 3 times. If you've bought it 3 times, and it will bring up each price point you've bought it at. And then they can like pick and choose.
So that's
but
the one
you got to
I
get
want.
a smart one. You got to get a smart one.
Yeah, you got to say, that's the one I want. So there it is, Angie. Anything else? Anything else? Pretty in pink?
Nope.
Go sink the pink? Maybe.
You always think the pink.
Oh, my.
Is that what you is that?
I can. I can. I will. So there it is. That is the question of the week. You want to be the question of the week? Put it in the comments below, and you too could be question of the week. But now, Angie, it's time for the weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 1 of weekly purchases. At least 2 rounds this week. A lot of wrestling this week as well. And of course, I talked about it at the top of the show. I was on the road, so some of this stuff I would have unboxed already. But when you're gone for like 5 or 6 days, what do? You got to unbox it when you get home. So as you're watching this, it is the weekend. Unless you're a Patreon member, I'm knee deep in action figure unboxing. So you're going to see all of this stuff. Hopefully I can get all the unboxings done and all the videos done. All the editing done by Monday, and you'll have all this stuff eventually on YouTube. So stay tuned, be patient. That's what it is. But let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with one of the Kansas City finds this week. The Walmart right by my hotel. What are the odds here? Walked in there. They had like 8 of these just chilling. It is the brand new Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Diamond Dallas Page. I like this one a whole lot. I'm excited to get this one out of the package. So I definitely picked that up right away. A figure so nice, I actually bought it twice. Probably going to regret this. Probably be on clearance eventually. But I wanted to display 2 different looks for this DDP like I do a lot of the Ultimates. So I picked up 2 Diamond Dallas Pages this week on the road. How about that? And then while I was gone, it pained me not to get to look at this one. I can't wait to unbox it on the channel. By the time you're watching this, I probably already unboxed it on the channel. But it is Jesse Ventura, the body himself. We got Jesse Ventura Ultimate Mattel Creations exclusive. You got to get this at Mattel Creations if you want it. I ordered 2 more of these, so I'm going to have 3 of these total. Going to keep 1 mint on card. I'm going to have 2 different versions loose in my collection. Got to give props and a special thanks to Mattel for thinking of me and sending this my way. Ooh, I love the body. I feel like they made that just for me, is what they did. They made that for me. That's at least what I'm going to say. Also, the Coliseum collections continue here. I did get another Honky Tonk Man Ultimate Warrior, probably like a lot of you did. This week went on a flash deal at Amazon for $43, and I said, oh my gosh, how many Warriors do I need? I don't know. How many can I afford? I don't know. How many are they going to make? That's the true question. But I ordered another set of these, and I do like the Honky Tonk Man too. So I'm going to have like 3 loose and 1 mint on card set for these guys. I guess what I'm going to do is what it is. I was also in Walmart. I want to say I was in, where was I? Overland Park, maybe? Shawnee? One of those beautiful Walmarts there one of the days this week. And I finally pulled the trigger on this Austin. I've been kicking around picking this one up, and I saw one just hanging on the shelf. I said, you know what? I should probably buy this. $11 and change. Picked up old Stone Cold this week. Also on the travels, I was traveling. I was a traveling man, found this, and this was the only one that was chilling on the pegs. There was 2 of them, actually, and it was Steve Blackman. You guys know Steve Blackman, the cheesehead himself. Would have been very fitting if I found this in my Wisconsin travel, but nope, it was in Missouri. So I did get Steve Blackman as we're slowly piecing together this Monday Night Wars line here. Steve Blackman through the door, looking pretty darn good if you ask me. And then the hits keep on coming with the Monday Night Wars. Roddy Piper, as a lot of us have known, these have been going in and out of stock. I missed a bunch of them, but I found Roddy Piper one day just looking, picked up Roddy Piper for the collection. So I got Piper Monday Night Wars. Just missing China, then we can put X-Pac together, so stay tuned for that in the future. But we're not done. Thanks to our friends over there at Ringside Collectibles. Did pick up Rhea Ripley, the brand new Ultimate Rhea Ripley. It's an Ultimate kind of week is what it is. Seth Rollins through the door as well, his latest Ultimate, and one that's stealing a lot of hearts all over the place. Todd McFarlane, hearts being stolen all over the place. Hulk Hogan with the ripping shirt. Pretty darn cool idea here. So that one came home this week as well. Ringside collectibles for all three of these. So a lot of wrestling going on, but we're not done. We got one more last thing here for round number one. I did go to Michael's. Yes, Michael's, Todd McFarlane. And I did pick up these protectors. These fit the Masters of the Universe comic books that come with the figures. I got such a huge stack of those. I said, you know what? I'm going to put them in these little sleeves, put them in a binder, and that is my plan for those. They're pretty cheap, pretty reasonable over there at Michael's. The Paper Studio is the brand, so if you need some protection, and we all should use protection, unless you know what you're doing, of course, Todd McFarlane. If you need these, they're available at Michael's. They fit perfectly for the Masters of the Universe, Turtles of Grayskull, etc., comic books. So I'm going to put all mine in there. So there it is. That's round number one. Let's move on down to round number two. All right, time for round number two of weekly purchases. And let's take a break from wrestling, and we'll come back to wrestling. But let's go other stuff. Already unboxed this on the channel. Very stressful, very stressful. Clawful, Masters of the Universe 2000X series. Check out that review. Ooh, hard times, hard times. Check that out if you missed it. I was at a beautiful Ross store somewhere in Missouri as well, and I finally pulled the trigger on this. I did get this for Halloween decorations. Not going to bring this out year round. Going to bring this out with the Halloween ones. Toonie Terrors, Halloween 3, gun to my head, my favorite Halloween movie. I said it, I said it. I'm here for Halloween 3. That one through the door. And now it's the portion of the weekly purchases, Todd McFarlane, where I whip out my dick. Yep, I whip out my dick. Of course, Robin, Joker edition, Dick Grayson Robin, gotta have this. They had that sale over there. What was it 60% off, Todd? I basically got both of these figures for like $28 shipped, I think is what it was. So I got Dick Grayson's Joker, and then I got this version of Batman. Long game paid off, used some points. Gotta get a deal. We know how it goes there. So I got two Jokerized editions from McFarlane Toys this week. But now we move our attention back to wrestling, and we gotta give a shout out to Grapplers and Gimmicks this week. As old Salvatore Sincere coming through, Grapplers and Gimmicks. We'll be unboxing this on the channel sometime this week as well. So check that video when the time does come. So got that through the door. And now we get a big and full of rubber, Todd McFarlane. It's the portion for the big rubber guys. Finally did get this one in. It is John Rambo, Sylvester Stallone himself. Got this one through the door. Also got kickboxer Kurt Sloan through the door. So I'm still kind of on the fence on these a little bit. Kickboxer, I wouldn't say is my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's Time Cop, right? That's everybody's favorite. Time Cop. Actually, my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie is JCVD. If you've seen it, you know all about it. That's my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. But he's got some good ones. Nowhere to Run, Hard Target. Hard Target, anyone? I'm a Hard Target guy, too. I remember I read the paperback in 5th grade. It was a wild time, but I did. But I got Kickboxer and Rambo, John Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. Probably unbox both these together on the channel. See what all the fuss is about. See if we continue on. Do I need the bloody version of Jean-Claude Van Damme? I feel like I do. That's one of those ones where I wish I knew that existed before this one, as I probably would have grabbed that and passed on this. Is what it is. And I also got a little monster action this week. Monster in my pocket, Shotzi Blackheart and Danhausen. So green and red attack. I know there's some people up in arms about this. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing ever. Nowhere near close to it. A lot of people saying cash grab, and I agree with that. But guess what? Spoiler alert. Everything here is a cash grab. Everything. Follow the money. Jesse Ventura's told us that many a times. Follow the money at the end of the day. They're just trying to get the most out of their molds. I don't fault them. And they'd be the first, they being, of course, the Collect Major team, would be the first to say, hey, it's your money. Spend it how you want. But I understand this feels like a bit of a stretch to me here. And it's tough because I want to support everything in the line. I want to get every big rubber guy in my collection. But there's so much stuff. I think they've had 7 figures maybe alone in the last month or so. That's a lot to ask anybody. It makes it tough to be a completionist. So I don't know. I think there's going to be more of these coming. Not sure where that goes. But like I said, I want to be a completionist. Going to be very hard. But they'd be the first to tell you, don't be a completionist. But some of us are wired differently. Some of us are wired differently. And I'm one of those people that are wired differently. So how about that? There it is. So big rubber guys coming in extra hot. But I got one last thing. One last thing I picked up on a whim. One late night in the hotel. On eBay, I picked this up. I couldn't resist. The power of, dare I say, the Warrior compelled me. So I did grab this one. I did grab it for my collection. It's a little prototype action, a little LJN Mattel prototype action of the Ultimate Warrior. Of course, the forthcoming LJN Mattel Ultimate Warrior. Hitting stores right now, apparently. Not any of the stores I was in, but hitting stores. I said, you know what? I'm going to grab this prototype edition. I'm not a huge prototype guy, but if I am, I'm Ultimate Warrior. That's what I am. So I did pick this up. Pretty darn cool to have in the collection. I'm a big Warrior guy. You're not going to see me get the Stone Cold or the Rock or the Jake the Snake or the Jey Uso or the Dusty Rhodes prototypes. Not really my style. Ultimate Warrior my style at a good price. I sent a buy it now offer, or I sent a best offer. They accepted, they took it, and they took my money with it. And this one stole my heart along the way. So very happy to have this in the collection. So I did get the Ultimate Warrior here off of eBay, and I think there's more. There's a lot of this stuff up there. So if you're after it, you have an opportunity. Not sure if they're worth anything or will be worth anything really, but it's more sentimental for me with the Ultimate Warrior. It's not about the cash. It's about just having another Warrior figure in the collection. So happy to have him off of eBay. Your mileage may vary, but there it is. That is the weekly purchases, I think. Anything else? Nope, that's it. That's everything right here today. Let me know what you got this week. What did you come across? What did you pick up this week? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel and all the content it does bring. You guys know that song and dance by now. Appreciate all the support over there. Hit me up, of course, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is also named my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available wherever podcasts are found, video cast on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a share, all that kind of fun stuff. Support my wife, Angie, in all of her endeavors. How about that? That'd be nice. But check that out. Check out my books, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series, both available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble as we speak. So for another week of weekly purchases, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play? We're going to the end of the line. Hey, come on, get here and rock their mice.
I was editor of the school magazine.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock breaking in here with a little after show. I guess that's what we'll call it, Todd McFarlane, the after show. But I got to give a special thanks, and maybe you will as well, to Patreon member Adam Hooper. How Adam Hooper won my giveaway for the month of January for the John Cena Peacemaker figure. Well, he lives over in the UK. He already has this figure, and he said he would like to pass that on. You know, it's like you go to Starbucks, which you'll never see me at a Starbucks, Todd McFarlane. He said, I want to pass this on to somebody else. I want to give somebody else an opportunity to win this one. So what I'm going to do for a special giveaway right here, we do this every once in a while, special giveaway. First person to sign up for the paid Patreon and send me a message in the Patreon system. Now you can be the $2 level all the way up to any of the other levels, $2 and up. Sign up for any of those. First person that signs up and messages me in the Patreon app will win this Peacemaker figure. I will send it out to you. So good luck, everybody. You gotta be quick to win.
See you later. Goodbye. What are we doing in this plastic prison? Searching for freedom, cutting through the lies. Kyle's on a mission. He's ready to run.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.